And I was like, okay, if I can share more about it, more people will learn about it, and they can find out other teams that they support if they have a women's team. So I honestly didn't think it would be this far or this serious. I know it's still a 15-year-old girl was being silly and still is online. Yeah.
How does one become a content creator if they want to become one? Welcome to Capital Tycoon, the place where future innovators
Come to learn.
My next guest is calling in all the way from Kenya. Gloria is the founder of 14th Gunner, a social media platform created to promote women's sports, specifically women's football, or soccer as the Americans like to call it, to fill the necessary gap in the world of sports. So, Gloria, my first question to you is, what does football mean to you?
Football's honestly my life. And I say that because growing up just taught me so much. It reminds me of this quote by this famous footballer called Ronaldinho. Said, all that I learned about life is with the ball at my feet. And that's literally what I experienced because it's true. And also, thank you for having me. I forgot to start with that. So, yeah, I'm excited for this.
Likewise, yeah, I'm also excited. So please tell me, I guess I'm sort of curious, like what inspired you to get into football in the first place, and when did you start your journey as a footballer?
So I honestly have no idea who got me into football because in my immediate family, my dad isn't a typical football fan. Like he doesn't keep up with football at all. My brother, I'm even the one who dragged him into it. He prefers like motorsport and all. And those are the only two men in my family who would typically be expected to drag me into football. So I honestly don't know. Probably my cousins on my mom's side, because I used to play with them during the holidays all the time. But I don't have a certain person. Yeah.
Okay. And what was the process like of founding 14 Gunner, your social media platform? And it was a project for Rise for the World 2022. So tell me about like how you like took that project to become a finalist in that competition.
Well, funny story. It was actually an Arsenal fan page, Arsenal, the football club based in London. So I just found out that the women's team existed, and I've been an Arsenal fan my whole life. That's why I call myself 14th Ghana. 14th is my one of my favorite numbers at the time. It was like the new one, so I chose it and added the th for spice. Then Ghana because I'm an Arsenal fan. But yeah, I was just excited that there's a women's team and that they're doing well, and I had so much to learn about them. So I was like, why is this so hidden? Like no one else in my life had heard about them. So I was like, okay, I can make a Twitter account as a fan page, make graphic design posters, and just tweet out a lot of things because here in Kenya, Twitter or X is very popular. And I was like, okay, if I can share more about it, more people will learn about it, and they can find out other teams that they support if they have a women's team. So it would help with the growth and all. But I honestly didn't think it would be this far or this serious. I know it's still a 15-year-old girl was being silly and still is online. Yeah.
That's interesting, yeah. And I guess now moving on to more about your experiences, what do your communities and competitions experiences, what are the highlight, and also talk a little bit more about them, so your experiences in these.
Well, okay, so it depends on what, because I've been a part of like multiple communities and competitions. Most of them are thanks to Rise, because before Rise happened, I wasn't really as active with online programs and all. Rise was one of the first ones, but there's quite a variety, though I'll stick to the football ones if you'd like. Is that okay?
Sure, yeah.
For me to stick to the football? Okay. So there's one called African Women in Sports. So I joined that. It started actually earlier this year. The youngest member there, which is odd, but they basically connect African women in sports, and it taught me that Africa's sports area is yet to develop fully, and especially the women in the world of sports that aren't really connected to each other. So that's a way to connect. And obviously 14th Ghana, just trying to reach out to people and connect more with them, help them grow. Yeah.
Okay. And
I hope I answered your question.
yes, yeah, indeed, yeah. And yeah, really interesting to hear. I guess please tell me about your interests in tech, science, and space, so the areas which we haven't mentioned yet. And obviously, you and I are part of a program that runs for the youth generation. But yeah, like, I mean, tell me where your interest came from. I'm curious.
Oh, that's a good question. I was never science, but okay. I never really stuck with science when I was younger, like in primary school and all, but it was just the introduction stages of it. But like I'm a learner outside class, outside school. I really love TKS, the Knowledge Society, the program of working, because all the things I'll do to avoid doing school tasks, it's what we do as activities in TKS, and just lets my curiosity go wild and discover more. So, as your question asks, I'm interested in space, tech. What else did you say?
And also
Space tech
just
and
science in general.
or science in general. I'd like to add one more: learning languages and
Okay.
cultures. I'm not good at it, but I know random words in various languages, and I believe like bit by bit I'll become fluent maybe one day. So it's just things that interest me, not in general, like the whole section of space or the whole section of science or tech. Just little things like tech side, maybe gaming companies like Logitech, seeing the things and the equipment and all is just really cool. And yeah, I'll just waffle about this all day, so I'll just stop there.
Oh no, yeah, that's really interesting. I didn't know about your interest in languages. So, which languages do you speak or are learning to speak, by the way?
Okay, so I'm currently fluent in English and Swahili. So English is my main language. Sometimes I say sadly because I'm not that good in Swahili because I have an English accent because I used to be in a British system school. So I kind of have a British accent, even though I've never been in the UK. Though uh, growing up, I was surrounded with three different languages mainly. My tribal language, Luo, English, and Swahili. So English I learned fluently because I spoke it day to day and dream in it and all. Swahili, we still spoke it day to day, but then not as much as English. So as much as I understand, speaking may be an issue, but I'm still fluent in it. Then my tribal language, Luo, I understand it, but I can't form sentences to save my life, which is sad. But I'm still learning it. Though also from like around the age of 6, it's kind of common in Kenya, some private schools. We are taught French is so I understand French to like B level, yeah, but I'm not fluent in it yet. I'm trying to learn Spanish too. I know few words in Russian, a few not so nice words in Gujarati, but
Okay.
yeah, it's just a bunch of random things that I learned for fun.
Yeah, that's really great. And that's just, yeah, so many languages. It's amazing. I guess the next question I wanted to ask is please explain how you established social media platform. So coming back to 14 Gunner, and how does one become a content creator if they want to become one?
Well, you just start creating. Like, if you scroll down to the bottom of, let's say, my Instagram account, because that's where I started posting videos of myself. It's quite embarrassing. I'd advise you not to, because first of all, the lighting would be horrific. I could barely be seen because I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want anyone to know those are my accounts. That's why I even called myself Ria there instead of Gloria. The suggestion feature on Instagram just came out, and if they saw on your account the name Gloria, they'd be like, "Oh, who's this?" and find me out. Start creating, because at the time I had very little skills in football freestyling. That's what I started with, and I was a complete beginner, but I just wanted to track my progress and be able to like go back and look at how I've grown. And I can still do that, and I love it because it's just 2 years, but there's so much change. So as I say before, third time, just start creating and you learn as time goes by.
Okay, yeah, that's a really valuable insight. And how did you learn to combine? So you have a lot of skills, and whether it be like content creation or tech, as we mentioned before, how did you like learn these skills? Was there like a learning method? I'm curious.
YouTube. Yeah,
Right.
I would say just YouTube, honestly. And social media, I guess, but mainly YouTube from an early age. Like even right now, I'm learning film or cinematography through
Oh,
YouTube,
yeah.
and like how I could upgrade my content using effects and all. Like I'm a complete beginner. I don't have any Adobe package, but I want to get one. And YouTube is such a great teacher. Like you can relearn the stuff, you can track what you've been learning, you can discover new things, and you can connect various things. And for the connection, it just happens. Like you don't plan it. Just see. It just clicks. Like one time you can be like, oh, I can connect football with gaming or football with film. So it's just happens.
I see, yeah. And also, I completely agree with you that YouTube is probably the most valuable learning resource out there. And you get to learn from like learning courses or videos more than you learn probably like in a lesson in school. So YouTube is definitely really useful. Um, what are some skills that are essential for young people in our generation to have, in your opinion?
Okay, I was really waiting for this question because there's this article by Yuval, skills that, no, is it skills or advice? Advice that kids need for 2025, and it's through TKS that I heard about it. He talks about these 4 C's: creativity, collaboration, communication, and critical thinking. I would say those are also really fundamental because this keeps you open-minded and willing to work with others and explore various areas. But I'd like to add 2 more skills: curiosity and consistency. Without curiosity, you wouldn't really have that itch to learn more about a certain topic, and without consistency, you'll never finish. So I would give those 6 C's, like the main skills I would advise some kids to learn right now. So creativity, collaboration, communication, critical thinking, curiosity, and consistency.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah. Um, I guess now like moving on to mindsets, what are some mindsets you have found useful yourself when it comes to being a better athlete and in leadership in general?
I would say the growth mindset. I don't really know many mindsets, but the growth one is one that I stick by, because like it's I really don't like the fixed mindset, and I used to have it where because you're at some certain level, you can't improve, you know, like let's say in football, if you're really bad growing up as a child, you just label yourself a bad player, you know. I wasn't a good player growing up. I was one of the worst, honestly. I even got moved from a keeper to a defender because I couldn't keep, you know.
Oh,
So I had to change my whole position. But through that, I learned how to defend. Then I switched schools and learned how to be a striker because apparently the coaches there saw that I was a striker, even though I couldn't dribble and all. But like, if I had the fixed mindset when I switched schools, which I had at the moment, I was really restricted to try out a new position because I was like, I'm bad in being a striker. You know, the only place I can play is a defender. But with a growth mindset, which I developed as time went by, I decided to just accept it and work on how to become a better striker because I knew that was not my strong point. And right now, because of my experience of being a defender before I was in high school, helps because as an attacking midfielder, I know how to defend before the ball reaches the defense. So it builds, like, it gives the team a stronger factor because most attacking midfielders don't know how to defend. But because of my background, I can, and also because of my high school experience, I can also strike. So it's the best of both worlds. And that's one of the benefits of having a growth mindset. If you don't relate to football or soccer as much, I'm sorry, because there'll be so many interpretations, like my soccer life with in this interview. Yeah.
I know, yeah. And I guess, yeah, I agree that growth mindset, it's important not to be stagnant in life, otherwise you won't make any progress. So, yeah. Um, what are some challenges being in football given the lack of diversity in the sport?
Okay. So the main challenge I've faced is being a girl, and once again, growing up in football, in Kenya, football. If you're a girl playing football during my time, I feel so old saying that. It would be weird. Like I would be told that it's a boys' sport or sweet sports to a less contact one because you get injured or you're trying to impress the boys, you know, because no girls would play football, like very limited. So all of that was lies. Like I just wanted to have fun, you know. But even right now, when I play with my old schoolmates or when I was still in school, as much as they're my friends and all, and I've been playing with them for a long time, they would still hesitate to pass the ball to me because I'm a girl. And, you know, football is all about passage of the ball, you know. So that actually gave me pressure because once you get a pass, you can't make a mistake because that would justify the fact of not passing to you. So you have to make every touch perfect and every time you're on the ball, you can't make a mistake, you know. And that's like something most people don't know because it's really experienced though. It taught me how to work on my first touch. So growth mindset again. You
Yeah.
take a con and turn it into a pro or look in a different perspective. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Um, Now, I guess coming back to like founding your own platform, because you founded it at such a young age, what is your advice for the youth generation? So like the current legends and also the next generation who are coming, so the future legends.
That's a good question. I'll just tell them to be themselves because I believe everyone has something good in them that stands out and the world needs to hear. So yeah, like as much as you're afraid to do something, whatever you're thinking right now is probably what you need to be doing, unless it's something bad. But just start, you know, just find a way to learn what you want to do and have the courage to start because starting is the hardest point. After the starting point, it just gets easier and you'd be shocked by how fast your progress is made and how things change in a good way.
Absolutely, yeah. Um, what is your opinion on schooling? So like the current school system?
I hate it, honestly. I hate it. So I've never really been like the A star student. Like I would pass classes, but then the bare minimum of passing. So yeah, And compared to like my last big exam, which I spent a whole year working on, the results were like messed up because Cambridge, I don't know what happened with the grade boundaries. I don't know if it's called grade boundaries in North America. I think you call it the curve, like grading curve. Anyways, it was messed up, and a lot of people got affected by how the thresholds were so high. So for you to get a B, let's say, you had to actually get like, was it 70 or 80? And like the exams are hard on their own. So there are a lot of people who never even went back to school for the last year of high school, including myself. Right now I'm taking a gap year because what I was doing was A levels, year 12 and 13. So that's like foundation year, but divided into 2 years. So I already have my high school diploma from year 11. So I can still apply to universities, US universities. So I was like, what's the point of spending another year stressing? Actually, the first 3 months, like before this year ends, I was supposed to do resics for my last exams, then also prepare for my last year of high school, which I thought of that and I was like, that's too mentally draining. And I don't think I'll be able to do that with like 14 planner, TKS, and all the other competitions I was having outside school. So it's like, that's not possible. I have to drop school and find another way. So I thought I'd get into like a diploma program next year. And as time went by more in this year, I realized I could just take this as a gap year and apply to universities. And that's what I'm doing right now. Though school can really mess somebody up if I wasn't so open-minded on various opportunities, or if I wasn't uh, adventurous to find programs to keep myself busy in. Right now, I'd be wondering what I'd be doing. I'll probably waste a year of my life, because one examination board based in the UK, who I'll probably never meet, decided to mess at thousands of kids' grades. Like it was a global issue for the international Cambridge examination board. Yeah. So I don't like schooling. It doesn't really benefit everyone. It just benefits the people who are book smart, and I don't like that type of perspective. Yeah.
I agree with you on that. I also don't like schooling. I think the system is very flawed, and also because yeah, as you took the initiative to take a gap year, I think it's important to be open-minded, as you said, and also the important thing is just to keep busy. Like, of course, like if you have like programs or like projects you're working on, then yeah, obviously, I think that will like serve you well. And I think, yeah, I think it's okay to be like outside of the school system, like taking a gap year for a while, as long as you're um, building something of your own and like of value to society. And I think it's a path that many should consider. But also, there's a lot of potential among the youth generation to do this, but yet a lot of people, I think, don't know about taking this like entrepreneurial or like building your own stuff path. So yeah, I think I completely agree, and it's inspiring that you took the initiative to do this. So yeah,
Thank you. Just one thing. It's
sure.
scary. It's honestly scary because I didn't even know if universities would. I still don't know if universities will accept me because technically, from my point of view, in the British curriculum, I haven't finished school. So they'll be like, "Oh, you need to go back to school," even though I have a high school diploma. So it's a scary route, and I think that's why most people avoid it. It's no guarantee. But then, and Schroeder, no, what does Damien say, my director? Um, he says unconventional success needs unconventional paths. So that's what I keep reminding myself to not get worried and stressed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a good quote. And also, I think, yeah, like I think it's important to take risks when you're young, especially because that's when
Yeah.
you like grow the most and also absorb the most, and it just makes sense more, I think, than taking risks when you're older. So yeah, I completely agree, and best of luck on the university application. Um,
Thank you.
Moving on, I guess, how do you balance your work being involved in so many different impactful projects?
I don't. I just try my best, honestly. Like, if somebody would be recording me almost no, actually just for a week and just see how much I get stressed. Because let's say like right now we're doing the TKS challenge with Meta and Google, and it's very time consuming. I haven't done any progress in my focus. I've even not selected my focus topic, so that's something required in TKS. Most people are on stage 2 of their focus, and because I've changed my focus twice, in like initial stage, I need to make an article, then make replicate projects and another article, and I'm so behind on that compared to other people, but it's my own journey. Though when it comes to also 14th Ghana, like yesterday, I didn't post it on time. There's a certain time for Instagram where the algorithm pushes your video out. I believe I was advised that by another content creator friend who's doing well in terms of engagement, so I trust him. Though most of the time I never post on time because editing takes longer than usual, or I have a task in TKS that I need to do, or I have like an interview like this, which rarely happens. Though I may have another thing, or just life, I'm just tired and I need a break, or my family needs to like spend some time together. Like I realize that I'm not spending as much time with my family, so I take a break with them. That affects something else too. So I don't really balance. I don't know how to balance yet. I'm getting there, but I don't know yet. So when one thing is up, the other thing is down. So I try not make them have I try make them not have a big up. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And I guess done is better than perfect. Like as long as you get the task done, then I think that's the most important thing at the end of the day. So yeah.
Yeah.
Um, who inspires you?
Kobe. I was waiting for this question because it's the 14th question, I believe. And
Yes.
next year is Kobe year. So this is account called Ball and Co. It's a basketball based account on Instagram that I find really cool. I'm also into basketball, but I'm not good in playing it because I'm really short. 5'2", 5'3". So that's not that short. But anyways, they sent a newsletter saying that next year is Kobe year, so prepare for it. And I was like, Kobe year? Then I realized 2024, Kobe's number is 24. And I've been a really big Kobe fan because I love his mentality, Mamba mentality. And I have something similar called Kaizen, which I learned from my business class back in year 9. So I was like 3 years ago. Yeah, though Kaizen is basically a Japanese term, or is it I don't know what it's called, but it just means continuous improvement. So good change, that's the direct translation. But that means like continuously improving in a certain part in your life or all aspects in your life. And that's just like Kobe. He's always talking about consistently improving and showing up, doing that small bit every day, whether it's huge or really tiny. It all adds up and compounds to something big. So Kobe is somebody who really inspires me. Obviously, there are a ton of other people, but Kobe is the one that really stuck out to me because 2024 is near, and I'm really preparing for Kobe year. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. Um, what are you going to be working on next?
I don't know. Who knows? But probably film. Yeah, I'm really trying to get into that because, fun fact, actually, I'm actually in my first YouTube program, and I'm really excited because I believe I'm a YouTuber by heart. Ever since I was like around the age of 6 and all, I've been filming content from playing with Barbie dolls and making skits to now football content and working with YouTube. So, uh, I really want to work on film to make whatever content I'm making look better and like editing and all. Plus, I just find beauty in normal things, like let's say a clear sky or some trees swaying a bit. I just have an artistic lens that I want to go more into and develop more. So probably film, but if not that, I don't know. Whatever happens, I'll probably like it because I do what I like. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Congratulations on being accepted or working with YouTube. I guess yeah,
Thank you.
that's really exciting. And yeah, I would say so actually, so for our podcast closing tradition, we ask a question, the closing question in every episode. So my question to you is, if you have one piece of advice or quote that you learned through your work, what would that be?
Okay, this is my own quote. I was really wondering what I would say, but you know the saying, "The sky's the limit." I hate
Yes.
that. Like, just throw that away.
Okay.
The sky is the beginning because I'm a space nerd, and the sky is literally the beginning to the universe, and the universe is ever expanding. So saying the sky is the limit is really limiting, because there's so much more that you're ignoring. So, the quote would be, "The sky is just the beginning." Yeah, by
Mm.
Gloria Mariwa. Remember that?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually haven't thought of it that way before, but yeah, I think yeah, it's true. Yeah, you shouldn't like be limiting, and yeah, just be as ambition as you can. The sky's the beginning, as you said. Where can people find you online, like through your website or newsletter or social media? Where can people find you?
That's a good question. Okay, so if you're professional, get me on LinkedIn, Gloria Mariwa. You'll find my other links are like to my link tree. Hopefully, when you're searching for me next time, you'll see my personal website. It's a work in progress, but hopefully to be done early next year. Though 14th Ghana, 14THGUNNER. It's available on Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, but I wouldn't advise you to go there because I'm not as active. There are also other podcast platforms, but that's automatic. I don't really personalize the posting there. It's normally auto posts to various platforms, which I'm not so sure of. Yeah, but that's basically the main ones. Yeah, just check me out there. My newsletter. If you go to my LinkedIn, you'll probably see me post the newsletter of the previous month, and from there you can subscribe. So yeah, mainly my LinkedIn and 14th Funnel. Yeah, just reach out.
Okay, sure. Well, thank you, Gloria, for your time and insights today. It is really a valuable conversation, and yeah, it was great having you on.
Thank you so much for your time and also inviting me. And also keep up with what you're doing. I love this podcast and the initiatives you're doing because I've seen you're a founder in a lot of things. So good luck with that and your journey as a whole.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Right, all the best. Bye.
You too. Bye.